Welcome to Parkour Kitchen, episode 3. Today on Parkour Kitchen, we're going to talk about recipes. I've got my handy dandy recipe book right here. We all love and have a recipe book. Some of us have a lot of recipe books. We stash them in our cupboards. We put them into our drawers. And then once in a while, when we're hungry, we pull them out and decide we're going to make something new and adventurous today. So we turn our recipe book to the magic page of, well, let's see what we can find here today. Pastas. Look at this pasta. It's got artichoke heart, and we think, I could have that for dinner. So we find the picture where it's at in the book, and we look up all the ingredients, and then we say, oh, I don't have half of those ingredients. I gotta go to the grocery store. So we'll go to the grocery store, we'll come back, or maybe we'll say, well, let's find the one that we do have. And sometimes when we actually decide to make that pasta, we spend our time in the kitchen following the recipe line by line, only to find out that our pasta didn't look nearly as good. Usually it looks a lot worse. But at the end of the day, it's a recipe and that's what the recipe says. But that doesn't have to be the case. Using Parkour Kitchen principles, you can escape that cookbook and use your own creativity to explore and create in the kitchen. I'm not telling you to throw away that cookbook, but I will suggest that you think of it as a recommendation. If you want to make something and you want some creative ideas, it's a good place to start. Instead of seeing a recipe with given quantities, instead you see it as a suggestion. Think of it as a color palette where you can choose foods that look interesting. You can see what sort of ingredients go into it, and then you let the creativity flow by getting rid of that recipe, just using the creative juices inside of your brain. Trust me, you have a lot of creativity. Your food often tastes better because you made it, and the picture is never disappointing because there was no picture. It was made from inside your head. You can use the things you have in your kitchen and not feel like you just don't have enough and have to go to the grocery store. Parkour Kitchen's perfect for that matter. You'll have a great time. And trust me, your kitchen often has more in it than you thought it did. Here's the challenge. Take your cookbook, find a recipe that you really like. Maybe explore. Aha! I found it! Country chicken bake with dumplings. Next, you read the ingredients. Whoa, it needs like 15 things. I can guarantee you I do not have 15 things in my house. However, I'm not going to let that let me down. So reading through the recipe, I think I kind of have a good idea of what I need. Next, I simply take that recipe, slide it to the left, or whatever side works for you, of course. Then I just go through the list and kind of roughly put what I have in the recipe and improv what I don't have. Then when you're done, you just bake it as you normally would. Maybe cook it a little less, maybe cook it a little more, depending on what you like. And then when you're done, you have a parkour recipe that's packed with creativity. Packed with creativity. And better yet, that you created it. Yeah, that's the coolest part, is that something that you created, not something that someone else created and listed out for you. It becomes your recipe, your food, your home. That's the power of Parkour Kitchen. So in essence, you can take those recipes. No. Don't really trash them up. Especially if it's an heirloom recipe book from your great-great-grandmother. That would be bad. Alright, that's for today's show. Peace out. We'll see you in episode